Hello guys, welcome! This is my new tutorial where I'm going to show you the steps how to make this beautiful design. It's called BEAUTÉ. Actually it's a French word and I'm not very sure the pronunciation is correct like this, but I have no clue how to say it in French, so BEAUTÉ. It has been designed by Lumania0304 on Instagram, and here are the steps in the catalog card. So here you can see the entire sequence is 7 steps long. And the beginning of the bracelet is also the beginning of the sequence, so you always repeat everything what is in between these 2 stars. We start with the standard 6 loop setup, and the first 2 rows are the same. You need to pull a band under the middle 4 and pick up the band number 3 and 6, and here you need to do exactly the same. So in the beginning of row 3 you have 8 loops, and now you need to work with 1/2 of the bracelet first, then you repeat the hook and do everything from the other side of the bracelet. So in row number 3 you take a band, pull under 4 loops and pick up the band number 1 and 3, and in the row number 4 you pull a band under 4 loops and pick up the band number 4 only. So you have 3 loops on this half of the braid. So as I said, here you need to repeat it everything from the other side. So you repeat rows 3 and 4 again, and you will end up with 3 loops on this side too. So you will have 6 in total. And here in row 5 you need to pull a beaded band in the center of your bracelet. This design has been designed to be beaded because there is a gap, there is a hole over here made for a bead. I used, they're called fire beads. It is Czech product, Czech glass beads called fire beads, and here you need to have them prepared in advance and pull 1 beaded band under the middle 2. So you have 6 loops on your hook, and here in rows number 6 and 7 you do everything on 1/2 again, then repeat everything from the other side. So here in row number 6 you take a band, pull under 3, reclaim the band number 1, and in the row number 7 you pull a band under 2 and reclaim the band number 1. So you will end up with 4 loops here, and when you repeat it you will have 4 loops over here too. So 8 in total, which is actually the beginning of the sequence, 8 loops, and you continue repeating it over and over until your bracelet fits your wrist. So let me show you the steps in real. I will be using the same colors like here, these goldish shades, and it is caramel chocolate bands and golden bands. Hope I have enough with me over here. So let's start. The first thing I need to do is to prepare the bead. These fire beads look like this. They are partly transparent. You can see through, and from one side of the bead there is like a color on the surface of the bead, golden color. So from here you can't see through, and from here it looks like glass. this is the fire bead. So I will prepare maybe just 2 of them for the purpose of this tutorial. So I need to put them on the beads, on the bands, sorry, so it is like this. I use needle and a thread to pull a band through the bead. So this is the semi-product I need to prepare in advance to be used in the bracelet. So one more, because I'm going to show you maybe 1 or 2 sequences, so I need them like this. And here they are, 2 beads on bands. And now I'm going to start with 8 loop setup. So I will make it as usual. Like this. I'm going to make these 8 loops of one color only, because I want the beginning of the bracelet to be made of one color. Actually, here I used 2 colors in a color sequence that I changed during the process. I made a mistake somehow, and the first half is in different color scheme than the second half of the bracelet, but they are quite similar, so it's not very obvious. But here I will try to keep the sequence as I intend to. So this is the standard 6, and I need to add 1 more to each side to have 8. So I add 1 more over here, like this, and also on the other side. So here is the standard 8 loop setup, and I'm starting the sequence by pulling a band under the middle of 4, picking up the band number 3 and 6. So I've taken my caramel chocolate band, I pull it through the first 6 loops, and then I pick up number 6, number 3, and then of course I pick up number 1 and 2, and close the new band off so that I can move the band number 1 and 2 to the side, and the caramel chocolate band remains in the center. That's row number 1. Now row number 2. I repeat the same steps. So 1 band through 6, I reclaim the band number 6, band number 3, then I also pick up the first 2 and close the new band off and move these 2 over here, like so. So this is the end of row number 2. Now row number 3, I'm going to work with 1/2, these 4 loops only first, and I'm going to pull. I will take my golden band through 4 and pick up 1 and 3. So I pull the band through these 4 and pick up number 3, number 1, and then close. And in the following step I need to pull a band under the first 4 loops again and pick up just the band number 4. This, and now I pick up the band number 4 and close. Be careful here, you need to keep the order of these bands, and this band needs to be crossed like this. It's important in the pattern. So now I need to repeat everything in rows 3 and 4 again from the other side. So I go to the other side and I'm going to pull one band under the first 4, pick up this and close, and then like this. So this is the end of row number 4, and now in row number 5 I'm going to pull the beaded band into the center. So here at this point I need to use my second hook, because I need to take these 3 loops on the other hook and then pull the beaded band just through the middle 2 loops. But this is a little bit fiddly because the position of these bands needs to remain like this. You know, these bigger loops need to be crossed over, and while pulling the band through the middle 2 loops you might lose the order, so be careful here. If you take these 3 loops on your hook, make sure this one, the long one, is in the center, in between these 2. So you take it out, keep the order, put a beaded band on and pull the respective band over the tip of your hook, and then just put the beaded band back, turn the work around, and when you are going to do the same from the other side, make sure this longer band is also in between these 2, because you need to pull this one over like this. And when it is done, it's actually over here, you have pulled the beaded band just through the middle 2. You see, through these 2, those were in the middle, and now you need to put everything back on your hook, because you need to continue. And again, just keep the order. You need to continue with row number 6. And here in row number 6 I take my caramel chocolate. This longer band needs to be in between these 2 again, don't forget. And I'm going to pull under 3 and pick up number 1 like this. So pull it under 3 and pick up number 1 and close. And the last one is to pull a band under 2 and pick up number 1 like this. Then turn your work around, because you need to repeat it from the other side. Make sure this long loop is in between these 2, and then just pull a band under 3 and pick up number 1, and then pull under 2 and pick up number 1 like so. So you have 8 loops on your hook, and that's the beginning of the sequence again. So not to make this tutorial too long, I'm not going to repeat everything in the second sequence. You can easily understand the steps from the first sequence only. We will just repeat everything what is in between these 2 stars. Try to follow the pattern. It's a little bit confusing. This is not a bracelet for beginners. You need to be a little bit skilled to do this and to enjoy making it. So if you try, be patient, but the result certainly is worth the effort, because it's beautiful. And as I wrote on Instagram, this bracelet looks like a real jewel, like a bracelet of the queen or of the king. It's beautiful, especially when made in some noble colors like I did in this color, in this golden shade. So here it is. If you decide to make it, please make sure you tag me and the designer to your renditions, because we both would love to see your work and your rendition. And if you post your pictures anywhere in the internet, please make sure you hashtag the keywords Lumania0304 and the BEAUTÉ bracelet. Thank you very much for watching. See you!